Hey! Welcome to week 2 of Shut Up and Poetry. Thanks guys for checking us out for the second week. I am Essie Says. This here is the wonderful Salarkhan. First off, just thank you guys so much for your support. Thanks for subscribing and following and your feedback. And of course, poets, thank you so much for your submissions. I mean, they've been pretty good.
Yeah.
If you haven't shared though, you're kind of probably a terrible human being.
Yeah, what do you like, hate us or something? If you haven't shared this video,
Look at the faces. Look at them.
you need to think again.
Just try it. Just try it. See if it maybe makes you happy. You never know.
I mean, no pressure, but do it tonight. Okay?
Please. Thank you. So, Salarkhan, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
How are you doing?
Well, it's week 2. I'm feeling pretty good. Why don't you let us know what happened last week?
Last week was an amazing week in Austin. Tuesday night we had Austin Poetry Slam, also known as APS. Starts at 8:30 every Tuesday night, Spider House Ballroom. Jomar Valentine took first place, Humvee took second, and guess who took third?
I don't know. Maybe this guy.
This guy!
It was a lot of fun.
Congratulations.
A lot of really good poets. We heard from 15 poets that night. Some incredible stuff. Some people that have never gone before. So if you're out there and you're watching this video, write, just get up. Just read it to somebody.
Come out.
Could be your
Do
cat.
it.
Just do it. It's
Do your
fun.
thing. Do you. You do you.
You do you. What
All
else?
right. Also, on Thursday night, we have Neo Soul every Thursday night, 9 p.m. at Mr. Catfish. Another amazing Austin crowd. So come out, support your Neo Soldiers. Hey.
Neo.
Also on Thursday night, there was an event at Foxing Quarterly, a presentation of 3x3. One of our favorite poets was there, Kevin Burke.
He's crazy good.
If you haven't heard of him, check him out now.
Me too. Like
Kevin
now.
Burke.
He's really good.
Look him up on Facebook. Marry me. Okay? Anyways, what else, Andre? What do we got?
I think that sums up the week. If you guys are ever in Austin, come check us out at APS. We're there pretty much every Tuesday just doing our slams. But this week, we have...
A feature. Guess who our feature is? This guy!
Technically, it's more like a sacrifice. We're still getting everything together for your submissions, so next week will actually be a feature, but this week we'll give you guys another sacrifice just to give you another idea of different styles of poetry that you can submit. So,
Without further ado, here's your sacrifice.
L'Oreal now has a makeup that takes the guesswork out of finding your perfect shade of foundation. Well, L'Oreal, it fucking took you long enough, didn't it? Where the hell was this when I was in elementary school? Well, hell, I'd settled for junior high. All those mornings I had to look in a mirror and see a skin tone that didn't quite match my foundation of friends. This would have come in handy. Finally, a product that lets me feel comfortable in my own skin. I mean, doctors can practically grow you another chin now, and it's been 24 years since my sojourn began. I know, I didn't wear makeup back then, but if I'd been exposed to this miracle product beforehand, imagine all the friendships I could have saved. My childhood consisted of a color palette composed mostly of a lighter pigment than my own, and if our life's painting only consists of the colors of people we put in it, my painting looked a lot like a newspaper lacking content, and as the only sentence on the page, it wasn't hard to stand out, so I tried to blend in, tried not to attract attention for fear of being mentioned. I changed the way that I dressed to seem less confrontational, changed the way I spoke to seem more agreeable, changed the way I breathed so as not to be too audible, but I couldn't change my flesh. No matter how bad I wanted to, and I began to notice that I was always the black friend my friend's parents were referring to. Notice that it wasn't necessarily me girls didn't find attractive, but the skin I was dressed in. Notice that being mixed and being black weighed just as heavily on the suburban scale of normality, and I'll admit, it took me a long time for me to realize what they meant when they asked me, "What are you?" As if my overall classification of human being wasn't quite registering on their one of us radar, and I was lucky, because I had friends who didn't seem to notice me struggling to be like them, but the environment I was in never let me forget that I was the exception, not the rule. What if? As children, we were forced to grow up in a school as colorful as our crayon boxes. Imagine how colorful the stories we painted together would be if we began to see unique and beauty as synonyms and not commodities we can exploit to sell stories. If the sentence is, "She's pretty," for an Indian girl, or "He's smart" for a Mexican, or "He's tall" for an Asian guy, could exist without a qualifier attached to them. She's pretty, he's smart, he's just fucking tall, period. Color only matters to people who are afraid that one day theirs might not, and I've been afraid most of my life of offending those people with my existence, but I'm developing a resistance. A new set of eyes that sees beauty in the abnormalities. I'm writing stories that tell of colors the first cameras couldn't quite capture, full of characters so diverse in complexions, yet have a hard time finding similarities in anything but our laughter. So I'm sorry, L'Oreal, but you're a little too late. You see, I no longer need a cream and a bottle to help me blend in. I'm a little too busy trying to stand out.
Oh my God. Did you guys hear that poem? Woo! Beautiful. So tell us about your poem.
Okay, so I guess the way I kind of write is I come up with a sentence that actually kind of has like a lot of meaning to me, and for this one, for whatever reason, I was thinking about crayon boxes, and you know, that gets you nostalgic, that gets you thinking about your childhood, and the place that I grew up was a pretty white suburban area, and so that actually like obviously shaped a lot of like who I am today. I met some amazing people, but you know, you encounter a lot of the stereotypes, the stigmatisms, and so this poem was kind of about a lot of that, and also kind of like hopeful thoughts on what progress would look like, you know, kind of seeing things not as some kind of you know, racial, or you know, you're this way because you are Asian, you're smart because you're Asian, you're athletic because you're black. It's just you're a human being that's good at something or is something, you know, and there's not all that like heated race involved.
Absolutely. I could really relate because I think we had similar backgrounds growing up kind of in a prominently white suburban area. So, you know, one of my friends was like the token black friend.
Always
and I just,
the token black friend.
Yep. She's absolutely beautiful. But so I love that your piece was about equality, specifically race, but then you, at the end, you were talking about why can't we just be human? And I relate that to all the civil rights issues, like why does it have to be women first or anything like that? How about you just treat me as the same, and then that's how progress will happen.
Exactly.
So absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this week. One note for the poets: if you do actually slam locally in your area, make sure you list that location and the times and all that stuff, so that we can make sure to give you and your stage, your location, a shout out when you win the feature. If you guys have any comments, let us know. Let us know what you thought of this week's episode and the poem, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Stay tuned. Subscribe.
Shut up.
In poetry.
Hey, and then intros.
We're going to do Shut Up and Poetry, right? Welcome to Shut Up and Poetry.
Yes.
Like last time?
Yes.
I can't get into this bitch.
Don't hit your knee.
Okay. All right. Hey, Rich. Welcome to Shut Up and Poetry.
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.